Okay, let's look at this one. This one, if you look at it, the question, evaluate the performance measures proposed by PT Balance Scorecard. It's a bit more complicated question, this one. Evaluate the performance measures that is recommended by performance proposed by PT's Balance Scorecard. Briefly describe the method of analyzing stakeholder influence. They just ask you to describe the method, okay? And analyze the influence of 4 different external stakeholders on the regulator of BDR. So different external stakeholders on the regulator. So here you must understand, who are you making the analysis for? This is why a lot of people got confused. They thought they were doing for PT, no? The question at the end there said, on the regulator. Are you clear now? Okay. Using your answer in part B, describe how the application of balanced scorecard approach at BDR would differ from approach at PT. Now this is basically, this is balanced scorecard, difference in public sector versus private sector. Are you okay now? What's the key difference between public sector versus private sector? Okay, have a quick read of the question. If you look at this question, you will find out you have one big problem. First part of the question, evaluate the performance measures proposed by PT's Balance Scorecard. Where's the performance measures, PT's Balance Scorecard? Share price, EPS, number of patients using PT products, exceed industry standard on design and testing, that's 1. Time to regulatory product approval of a product, okay, that's 2. Learning and growth, training days undertaken by staff, that's 1. Time to market of a new product, that's 2. And percentage of drugs bought by PT that gain final approval. Okay, let's look at what they have done here. How many measures have they set up? Their KPI, they have 1, 2, 3, 4. You got financial, you got, next one is what? Customer, learning, and is it learning? Internal business process, and you got learning here. Now remember, this is not the answer yet, it's just you breaking it up, yes or not? Okay, what were your KPI? Okay, what's the KPI here? You got share price and EPS. Next one is percentage, number of patients using the product. Next one, exceed industry standard on design and testing. What else? Next one was training. Next one, time to market, yes or not? Last one is percentage of drugs, bought drug, approved, yes or not? Okay, this is your examiner's first design. Second, he designed by getting something done called, guess what? He put in, I think if you look properly at the question, objective. Correct? Then he put something else. What else he put? This one is what? Also objective. Got two sets of objective. Medium and long-term objective. Overall objective and? Can see not? Got long-term objective. Sorry, this one is not the objective of this one. This is the objective of BDR. So you have to highlight this separately. Keep it separate. Okay. Well, this is the regulator. We'll just keep that separate also. Okay. So the main objective is over here. Correct? Create shareholder value. Okay. So all you have to do is put down another line here. And you need to link it to create value. Next one is what? Efficiency of next one, increase shareholder value by innovation in drug approval process. Okay, this is their objective and they got 4 KPIs. Your job is to do alignment. Yes or no? Understand what I mean? Alignment doing now? Alignment. Is there an alignment between these points? Are you clear or not clear? And then not only talk about alignment. Do you have to look at it critically as if you are the board of directors? Remember I told you, this one already presented to you. So who are you? You are the board of director. You're sitting there and somebody is proposing, well, this is our objective. This is our balance scorecard. What do you think now? For example, share price, shareholder value. What do you think? Agree, disagree? So let's go one by one now. Share price. Does it lead to shareholder value? Well, first part is non-controllable. Some more? What else? Clear? Not clear? Can you understand how to Can you understand how we're handling the question here? Yes, no? But it's not the answer, it's just me putting down the points and how to think it through. Okay, or not? Got it? In other words, you need to be critical. Okay, but remember, this is still very theoretical level. I haven't touched base with the company. We're just thinking about the theory around it. Got it? I haven't touched with the company. And remember, that's one of the dangers of the paper. The examiner says, if you do that, you might get into trouble. You are writing on a theoretical level only. Clear? And this is what a lot of students do. They end their answer there itself. Cannot. You have to move into the company and discover what the company is doing. You have to touch base with the company. I cannot. Does that make sense? Like, are they using money in a different point? Are they using a different process? Are they affected by the stock market? Can they affect the stock market? What type of company is this? This is a drug company. Drug companies are same like software companies. Drug and software companies have similar pattern. What's their pattern? Drug and software companies have similar pattern. What's the pattern? Like iPhone, they just launched iPhone 8 and 10. Guess what happened to the share price? What do you think happened to the share price? Went down or went up? Up like crazy, Clear? Huh? Why am I happy? I'm not. I didn't buy iPhone shares. I am not an Apple shareholder. Don't worry. I haven't reached that level yet. Apple share price. Let me show you what happened to Apple share price. Then you can get a better understanding of what happened. Let's look at what happened. Okay. You know when they launched a phone, right? When did they launch the phone? When did they launch the phone? You know when was the launch of the phone? iPhone? November, right? Somewhere November, right? You should have bought your share here, right? Of course, it looks like a nice straight line, yes or not? Okay, this is called artificial. Also looks like a nice straight line, right? Why did it drop in? This is after. No, it'll drop whenever the competitor launches a phone. When Samsung launches a new phone, it'll drop. And when they launch a new phone, it'll pick up. Look at the pattern, it's pretty clear cut, isn't it? If you had bought it here and you had sold it here, how much money you made? About 24 US dollars per share. That's quite a lot of money, yes or not? Right? Assuming you had money to go in the first place. Okay. Are you clear as well? Look at the PE ratio, look at the dividend yield. Okay, and look at the market capitalization. They say it's almost reached $1 trillion. They said it would have been the first $1 trillion company. All right. Okay. Now, are you clear on when we look at share price? You need to think about. Guess what? You need to think about all the issues that relate to share price. Not only just be thinking about, oh, I can't control the market. No, it's not only about I can't control the market. Sometimes you can control the market. Are you clear now? So the examiner expects you to look at, are you a drug manufacturer? Drug manufacturer can impact the market very easily. How? Launch a new drug. Does that make sense? They come out with a new drug, it'll shoot. Okay. Follow, don't follow? Next one. Number of patients using the drug. Is that a good indicator for customers? Well, look, they wanted to be efficient drug development. They don't have anything serious here. Okay, now. Okay. So let me just run through the question first before I verify everything else. Pharmaceutical technology companies is a developer and manufacturer of medical drugs in B-land. It's one of the 100 largest listed companies in the stock market. So it is a listed, so it's obvious to refer to the stock market price. The company focuses on buying prospective drugs. Did you know you can influence the stock market by buying a drug? You don't know? Huh? Look at the stock market. Whenever somebody goes and do a negotiation to buy somebody else, what will happen to the share price? It'll shoot up or down, right now. It'll jump. Okay? Which have shown initial promise in testing. From small bioengineering companies, PT then leads this drug through regulatory stages, launches in general medical market. Okay. The 3 stages are to confirm the safety of the drug, does it harm humans, in small scale trials, to test efficacy of drug, does it help cure, again in small scale trial, and finally large scale trial to definitely decide on the safety and efficacy of the product. Does it make sense? So basically, this is their process. Okay. The drugs are then marketed to companies' large sales force to healthcare providers and end user patients. Healthcare providers are paid by health insurance. So here's something, you got healthcare provider, that's one stakeholder, and you got health insurance company, that's another stakeholder, okay or not? And you got this one, developer and manufacturer of medical drugs, this is another stakeholder, okay or not? Okay, remember the stakeholder question was for the who, not for the company, it was for the government body, okay or not? So it was a bit upside down the question, okay. For national government dependent on the financial status of the national government, dependent on financial status of the patient. Okay, so now the B-land drug regulator oversees this testing process and makes the final judgment about whether the product can be sold. The objectives are to protect, promote, improve public health by ensuring medicines are acceptable, balance of benefit and risk, users of this medicine understand the risk-benefit profile, and new beneficial product development is encouraged. So that's what they want to do. Now, the regulator is governed by board of trustee appointed by government. It's funded directly by government. So that means the government becomes a key stakeholder, yes or not? And also through fees charged to drug companies who, when granting license to sell their products. PT has used its share price and EPS as principal measure to date. So they have been using this all this while. Are you clear now? All this while the company used that. Okay. Now, however, share price has underperformed the market and the health sector in the last 2 years. That kind of indicates that the company's performance is bad. Chief Executive has identified that these measures are too narrow and is considering implementing balanced scorecard. Working group has drawn this and identified your objectives. Working group considered stakeholder perspective. This is where the examiner purposely put the stakeholders here. Why he put the stakeholders here? So that when you do question B, you go and use this as the answer. Once you use this in the answer, what happens to you? Wrong. This was stakeholders who are relevant to PT, not to BDR. So it was a trap. Okay, can you understand what I mean of a trap or not? The examiner designed a trap. So you need to be aware of traps. You go like, hey, that one asked stakeholder for BDR. He giving me PT. Label as trap. Clear? You could use this to help your answer a bit, but it doesn't really help a lot. Next, doctors and patients. Okay, finally, this led to a proposed scorecard of so far. Okay, now evaluate the performance measures. First part, I already told you how to write your answer. So now let's go through part C first. I'm going to do part C first. What's part C? Part C is about what's part C about? Difference between public sector organization and public listed company. The use of balanced scorecard. Does that make sense? You need answer from B. So you have to do B first, right? Okay, we'll do B first. So what's B? B is different types of stakeholders. First one asks you to do what? Describe the method of analysis. What's the method? Mendeley matrix provides a basis to analyze your stakeholders. Using power and interest. Power is the ability to influence, and interest is the indicator to use the power. So then we do BDR, stakeholder analysis, yes or not? Correct? Following first one will be to be kept satisfied because they funding, and they're funding it, right? They need to be kept satisfied because they have resource power via their funding. Unlike they would not be next one will be drug companies. And how are they going to be interested? They need to be kept informed because they have limited power due to highly interested approval process. How BDR operates. Okay, does it make sense to you? Then you got patience. Are you clear on this one? Yes, no? Are they interested? You have to guess it. You have to guess it. They have high interest. Done. Clear? Are you okay? Can. Clear? Not clear? Now let's move on to the next part. Okay, the next part is going to be part C, difference between public sector and also private sector, yes or not? So what's the big difference? First part will be You got different stakeholders, right? For conflicting needs of different stakeholders. Whereas you look at PT, they only have to consider one stakeholder primarily. Who is it? Next one is quantify. Easy to quantify or not? What are the areas they have? Look at it. They want to achieve things like risk benefit. Okay, the users just understand. Okay, but medicine have acceptable balance of benefit and risk. You know, the idea of quantification, you see all this multi-level marketing, they'll try to sell you a medicine, there are supplements that don't work, but they claim it works. Ever heard of multi-level marketing trying to sell you drugs that are not drugs, dangerous substance that will help you keep yourself healthy? No. They'll tell you take this multivite, you'll feel much more better, it'll stop your this, stop that, stop this, stop everything. Huh? Like Herbalife lah. What do they claim, Herbalife? Like you take this, you're going to be much more healthier, right? Now, pay $800 a month to drink some substance that they cook up somewhere in some factory. Better for you to cook your own factory. understand what is the meaning of political overlords? Yes, no? Politicians have a way to get what they want. They can report certain statistics. Like, for example, the DPM reported that current police ratio for crime is 47%. That means the police solves 47% of all the crimes. Sounds good, right? He wants to increase it to 52%. I was like, wow, he can be very specific, 4% up. Perception is Malaysian crime is really bad. Okay, are we okay this one? Yes, no.